Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to solve May-June 2017 1-2 paper. It's a MCQ paper, and the course we are studying is Physics 5054. Let's start today's paper. Okay, on your screen we have question number 1. A car accelerates at 5 meters per second square along a straight horizontal road and reaches a velocity of 20 meters per second in a time of 4 seconds. During this time, its total displacement is 40 meters. Which quantity is a scalar quantity? Very simple question. You have to take out the scalar quantity out of given 4 options. So the first one is a displacement of 40 meter. Displacement is a vector quantity. A time of 4 seconds. Yeah, the time is a scalar quantity. Time is a scalar quantity. So the choice will be B. For question number 1, the choice will be B. Okay, now we are moving to the next question. Question 2, the diagram shows the resultant R of a 3 Newton force and a 4 Newton force acting at a point. The angle between the 3 meter force and a 4 Newton force can be any value from 0 to 90 degree. Which value of R is not possible? You see, if the 3 Newton force and the 4 Newton force, the angle between them is 0, means they are parallel to each other. Their resultant will be simply their arithmetic sum. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 Newton. When the angle is 0, the resultant force will be 7 Newton. If the angle between the 3 Newton and the 4 Newton is 90 degree, then the resultant can be found by applying the Pythagoras theorem, and the resultant will be 5. If you apply the Pythagoras, you will came to know that the resultant is 5. So the resultant, when the angle of between the two vectors varies from 0 to 90, the resultant will vary from 5 to 7. So anything out of this range is not possible answer. So in A choice is 4 Newton. Yeah, this is out of the range. Our range is 5 to 7 Newton. So A is not in that range. So A is the option which this is the value of R which is not possible. So for question number 2, A 4 Newton is the answer. Okay, we reduce the size. Question 3. A micrometer is used to measure the diameter of a uniform wire. What is done to obtain an accurate answer? Make the micrometer horizontal and then use the scales to find the reading. No. Subtract the fixed scale reading from the rotating scale reading. No. Subtract the rotating scale reading from the fixed scale reading. No. Use the scales to find the reading and add or subtract any zero error. Yes, sir. D is the choice. That's a sensible statement given there. So D is the choice. 4 question. Question number 4. The diagram shows the distance time graph of a car. The car is traveling along a straight road up a hill. Which quantity for the car is constant and greater than 0? You know, it's a distance time graph, and the distance time graph is represented with the straight line, and its gradient is constant. The gradient of the distance time graph is equals to the speed of the object. So if the gradient is constant, it means that the speed of the object is constant. And you know, on the speed, the kinetic energy of an object depends. You know, kinetic energy is 1/2 mv square, where v is the speed of the object. And if the speed is constant, from this graph, I can tell one thing, that the speed is constant. Then it means the kinetic energy of the body is constant. So his question is, which quantity for the car is constant and greater than 0? Kinetic energy. So C is the choice. Question number 4, C is the choice. Okay, on your screen we have question number 5. The diagram shows a speed time graph for an object moving with uniform acceleration. What is the distance traveled in the first 4 seconds? You know, the distance traveled, if a speed time graph is given to you, you can find the distance travel. Distance travel is equal to the area under the speed time graph. So here the speed time graph is given, and area under the speed time graph is this. The shape, this is in the shape of a triangle. So you can apply the formula 1 by 2 into base into height. So base is 4 and the height is 6. So 1 by 2 into base into height. So 1 by 2 into 4 into 6. So it will be 1 by 2 into 24 and the 12 will be the answer. So the area under the graph is 12. So the distance traveled by the body is 12 meter. So C is the choice. I hope you have understood it. Okay. Now we are moving to next question. A hanging basket is fixed to a wall by a bracket. The weight of the basket is 80 Newton. The weight of the bracket is 20 Newton. What is the size of the upward force exerted on the bracket by the wall? You see the downward force is 80 Newton and 20 Newton. So downward force is totally 100 Newton. So here the upward force provided should be equals to 100 Newton. So D is the choice. It's a very simple question. So D is the choice for question number 6. Question number 7, a train of mass at 240,000 kg traveling at a speed of 60 meters per second. The brakes are applied and it decelerates for 10 minutes until it comes to rest. What is the average resultant force? So you see here, you first have to find out the acceleration. The initial velocity is 60 meters per second. Final velocity is 0 meters per second. The time taken is 10 minutes, but we will take the time in seconds. So we will multiply 10 minutes with the 60. You will get the time 600 seconds. Once you have found the acceleration, then you can apply the formula. Resultant force is equal to ma. I have done this on a paper. Let me show you my working. Okay, so here we go. Question number 7. Don't mind about this kinetic energy thing. Here, acceleration is equal to v minus u divided by t. A is equal to 0 minus 60 divided by 600. So 60 divided by 600, and the acceleration will be 0.1 meter per second square. F is equals to ma for resultant force. So the m is 240,000. Multiply the acceleration is 0.1. So multiply them, and you will get 24000 Newton. 24,000 Newton is the answer. Okay. Let us check. 24,000 Newton. A is the choice. Question number 7. A is the choice. Okay. On your screen, we have question number 8. A car travels at a constant speed along a circular horizontal path. Which statement describes the forces acting on the car? The forces are unbalanced and the resultant force is always directed towards the center of the circle. That's the truth. That is a fact, sir. When you move in a circle, the first force is acting on you are unbalanced, and the resultant force is always directed towards the center of the circle. So they are unbalanced with the resultant in the direction towards the center. So D looks the choice. So D is the choice. Question number 8. D is the choice. Okay. On your screen, we have question number. The diagram shows a block of wood resting on a sloping board. Which arrow shows the direction of the gravitational force acting on the block? The gravitational force is A. It's a very simple question. The direction of the gravitational force is A. So A is the choice. Okay, next question on your screen is question 10. On the Earth's surface, the gravitational field strength is 10 Newton per kg. On the surface of Mars, the gravitational field strength is 3.8 Newton per kg. A robot vehicle has a weight of 2,000 Newton on Earth. What is the weight of the robot vehicle on Mars? So the weight on the Earth is given. So from here I can calculate what is the mass of the robot. So W is equal to mg. The weight is 2,000 Newton. The M is the question. The gravitational field strength of the Earth is 10. So from here, I will came to know that the mass is 200 kg. Then I will again apply the formula for the mass. Weight is equals to mg. The mass will be 200 kg, but this time the value of the g, which is on the mass, we will take that value, that is 3.8. So I will multiply 3.8 with 200 kg, and the answer will be 760 Newton. So B will be the choice, but let me show you my working. I have done this. Okay. Question 7. Question number 10 is on your screen. Can you see that? First of all, on Earth, W is equals to mg, 2000 equals to m into 10, and m will be 200 kg. So when you go on the mass will be the same, 200 kg, but on gravitational field strength is on the mass is different, that is 3.8. So weight on the mass will be W equals to mg, 200 into 3.8. Yeah, so the weight will be 760 Newton. 760 Newton. So the choice is B. Question number 10, B is the choice, sir. I hope you have understood it. Okay, next question is 11 on your diagram. The diagram shows a rectangular block. The density of the block is 2.5 grams per centimeter cube. What is the mass of the block? Okay, here the dimensions of the rectangular block are given. The length is 5 centimeter, the width is 4 centimeter, and the height is 3 centimeters. So I can find the volume of this block. The volume of the block will be length multiply width multiply height. So I will multiply 5 with 4 with 3, and the answer will be 60 centimeter cube. Then I will apply the formula of the density. Density is equal to mass divided by volume. I want to find out the mass, so the formula will become mass equals to density multiply volume, and you can, because the density is 2.5 multiply 60, and the answer will be 150 gram, and the D will be the choice. 150 gram, D will be the choice. I have done this work on a paper also. Let me show you that. Okay, on your screen you can see question number 11. First I found the volume of the rectangular box, length into width into height, 5 multiply 4 multiply 3, and 60 centimeter cube. Density formula is D equals to m by V. If I will make m the subject of the formula will become D into V. D is 2.5 into 60, and the answer will be 150 gram. 150 gram. So you see 150 gram, D is the choice. Question number 11, D is the choice. Okay, on your screen we have question number 12. The graph shows the extension of a piece of copper wire as the load on it is increased. What does the graph show? This means till this point the load and the extension are directly proportional to each other, but after this, even a slight increase in the load will increase a lot of extension. So it means that after the limit of proportionality, after a certain point, the extension becomes very, very easy. So what does the graph shows? At a certain load, the wire becomes easier to extend. Definitely this is the answer. Question number 12A is the answer. On your screen, question number 13, the diagram shows a load extension graph for a wire. Which point is the limit of proportionality? On the load and extension graph, the point until which this graph is a straight horizontal line, and after that it becomes a curve. That point is called limit of proportionality. So in this graph, that point is B. B point is the answer. Question 14 is on your screen. A small motor has an input power rating of 10 watt and is running for 5 minutes. What is the electric energy input to the motor in this time? You know the formula for the power is power is equal to energy divided by time. So energy is equal to power multiplied time. The energy is equal to power multiplied, the power is given 10 watts and the time is also given 5 minutes. But in the formula of energy, we don't take the time in minutes. So what we will do, we will convert these 5 minutes into seconds. How you do that? You multiply it with 60. So 5 minutes will be 5 multiplied 60. It will be approximately 300 seconds. I've done this work on a paper. Let me show you my work. Power is equal to energy divided by time, and so 10 equals to E divided by time 5 into 60. So energy is equal to 10 into 5 into 60, and 3000 joule is the answer. 3000 joule is the answer. 3000 joules. So D is the choice. Question number 14, D is the choice. Okay, on your screen we have question number 15. A student of mass 60 kg climbs some steps. He travels the horizontal distance of 2 meter and a vertical distance of 1.5 meter. The gravitational field strength G is 10 Newton per kg. What is the work done against the force of gravity? You know, work done against the force of gravity is equal to the gain in the potential energy. And the formula in the gain in the potential energy is mgh. mgh. H means the vertical height, m means the mass of the body. I have done this on a paper. Let me show you that working. You can see question number 15 is on your screen. Gravitational potential energy is equal to mgh equals to 60 into 10 into 1.5. So the answer will be 900 joules. 900 joules for question number 15. 900 joules, and the C is the choice, sir. Question 15, C is the choice. Okay, on your screen we have question number 16. Which energy source is non-renewable? Nuclear energy is a non-renewable. Solar, renewable. Tidal, renewable. Wind, renewable. So A is the choice. Nuclear energy is non-renewable energy source. So A is the choice. 17 question. In a coal-fired power station, the coal is burnt and thermal energy, heat is produced. The thermal energy is used to produce electric energy. In which order does the energy pass through parts of the power station? You see, where the coal is burnt and the water is boiled and steam is produced, that is called boiler. And then the steam from the boiler that is used, that steam which is at very high pressure is used to turn the turbine. So first comes the boiler, then comes the turbine, and then the turbine rotates, and it with the help of a shaft it starts rotating the generator. So boiler, turbine, generator. So B is the choice. Question number 17, B is the choice. 18th question is on your screen. Two glass containers filled with different liquids are placed next to each other. Different liquids, remember this word. Point P is the distance h below the surface of the liquid in one container. Point Q is the distance h below the surface of the liquid in the other container. So the points, both the vertical depth of both the points is same, but the liquids are different. Why is the pressure at P different from the pressure at Q? The pressure here and the pressure here are different. The basic reason, you know, the pressure of a liquid is equal to rho GH, density multiply G multiply the depth of the liquid above that. So depth of the liquid was in both cases same, the value of the G in both cases same. So why the pressures are still different? The reason is they have the different densities. So B is the choice. The densities of the liquids are different. The liquids, the densities of the liquid are different. For 18, B is the choice. For 18, B is the choice. Okay, the pressure of a gas. The pressure of a gas in a cylinder is measured using a water manometer. The density of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube, and the gravitational field strength G is 10 Newton per kg. What is the pressure above atmospheric pressure of the gas in the cylinder? You know, manometer tell you the difference between the pressure of the gas and the atmosphere. And how you tell that? That is the difference of the level of liquid in both the limbs. So the difference of level of the mercury of the water, sorry, in both the limbs is 20 centimeter. So I will convert it into the pressure, and the formula of pressure of a liquid is rho gh. Pressure is equal to rho gh. So rho means the density of the water, which is given 1000 kg per meter cube, and the g value is 10 newton per kg, and this h is 20 centimeter, but I have to convert this into meters. So 20 divided by 100, it will be converted into 0.20 meter. And then we'll do the calculation and we'll get the answer. I have done question number 19. That's on your screen. Pressure is equal to rho gh. I mean, 1,000 multiply 10 multiply 20 divided by 100, 20 divided by 100 to convert it from centimeter to meter, and the answer will be 2000 Pascal. Question 19, 2000 Pascal is the answer. Let us look for the option. So B looks the option. Question 19, B is the option. Okay. So let's reduce size a little bit. Okay. On your screen, we have question number 20. Fixed mass of gas is enclosed in a cylinder with a mobile piston. The gas is initially at pressure P1 and has a volume of V1. The temperature is kept constant. The piston is moved so that the pressure becomes P2 and the volume becomes V2. Which equation occurs? You know, when you keep the mass of the gas constant and you keep the temperature constant, the relationship between the pressure and the volume is very simple. We call it Boyle's law, and that formula is, its mathematical formula is that the P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. So C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Question number 21. A substance consists of particles that are close together and moving past each other at random. The average speed of the particle is gradually increasing. You see, it's a description of a liquid close together and moving past each other at random. So it's a liquid. The average speed of the particle is gradually increasing. It means that if the average speed is increasing, it means that it is being heated. So it's a liquid being heated. It's a liquid being heated. Question number 21, B is the choice. Question number 21, B is the choice. Okay. Question 22 is on your screen. Some ice cubes are taken from a freezer and heated in a container. The readings of the temperature and time are recorded on the graph. Which temperature is 0 degrees centigrade? So see, when you started your experiment, there you have ice cubes and they were taken out of the freezer. So the temperature probably would be less than the 0 degrees centigrade. So I think here, and you see then the temperature started rising and then the graph became flat. So when this graph becomes flat, this happens only when the state change is taking place. The heating curve will become flat when the state change is taking place. So at this point, see, you know, the first time the graph become flat when we have started the heating. So because we have ice cubes and this flat thing means on a graph, that means that the state is changing. It means that the ice is converting into the liquid. So this happens at 0 degrees centigrade. So this the flat graph on the C, that is representing the melting. So that is representing 0 degrees centigrade. So C on the graph paper is actually corresponding with the 0 degrees centigrade. C is the choice. Question number 23 is on your screen. A tray for making ice cubes holds 30 grams of water. The specific latent heat of fusion of ice is 3.3 expo 5 joules per kg. How much thermal energy is removed from water at the 0 degrees centigrade to change it into ice at 0 degrees centigrade? You know, the heat at the taken out will be equals to that heat taken out can be found at the this melting point or freezing point. We can find it with the formula heat is equals to m multiply L. Heat is equals to m multiply L, where m is the mass of the water and L is the specific latent heat of the fuel. If you look at carefully, the mass of the water which will convert into ice is 30 grams. The unit is gram. But the specific latent heat fusion of ice is 3.3 expo 5 joules per kg. Now here the unit of the mass is kg, but the mass you have is 30 grams. So these units are not consistent with each other. So what I will do, I will convert 30 gram into kg. How I will do that? I will divide it with 1000. Now the formula for heat is ml. Just write that formula, put the value, you get the answer. I've done this on a paper. Let me show you my work. Here you see question number 23 is on your screen. Heat is equals to ml. Heat is equal to mass will be 30 divided by 1000 to convert the gram into kg. Multiply the given specific latent heat of fusion, 3.3 expo 5. Just multiply them on a calculator, you get the answer 9.9 expo 3 joules. 9.9 expo 3 joules. So that was question number 23. It's let us check option. 9.9. So question number 23, A is the choice. 9.9 and 10 over 3 joules. A is the option. A is the option for question number 23. The bulbs of 4 thermometers shown all contains mercury. Which thermometer is more sensitive? The more sensitive thermometer will be that one which has the largest amount of mercury, and the bore, the diameter of the bore is narrow. Okay. So it looks D is the option. B is the right option. It has the largest amount of mercury. It has the narrow tube. So D is the option, sir. Okay, let me reduce the size so you can see the whole question. A metal box has 4 different surfaces: dull black, shiny black, dull silver, and shiny silver. The box is filled with boiling water so that each surface is at the same temperature. A sensor measures the amount of radiation from each surface. Which surface emits the least radiation and which surface emits the most radiation? You know, this is a box and it has water, boiling water in it, and its the 4 walls, they have different color and they have different texture. And so his question is from where there will be least emission of the least radiation, and where we will have the most radiation emitted, and the least will be emitted from the shiny silver, and the most infrared radiation will be emitted from the dull black. So least will be given out from the shiny silver face, and the most will be given out from the dull black face. So it looks to me that D is the option. For question number 25, D is the option. Okay. Now on your screen, we have question 26. The diagram shows a water wave in a ripple tank being refracted at the boundary between region P and region Q. Okay, here the water wave fronts are coming, and because here, you know, the depth is different, so the water waves have changed their direction. The wave fronts are now going this way. Here, the wavefronts, they are far away from each other. Their wavelength is larger here, so it means it's deep waters. And here, the speed is also faster. And in the Q region, the wavefronts come close to each other. It means that the wavelength is has reduced. It means the speed has also reduced, and this also means it is shallow water. The question, how does the wave in the region P compares with the wave in the region Q? The wavelength of the P is larger and the speed of the wave in the region P is also faster. So A is the choice. Question number 26, A is the choice. Question number 26, A is the choice. Okay, on your screen we have question number 24. Let me first note it down. You see question number 20. Let me increase the size. I will show you this one by one, step by step. The graph shows how the height of a water wave varies with the distance along the wave. So it's a displacement distance graph. It's a displacement distance graph. On the x-axis, distance is given. On the y-axis, height is given. So the amplitude of this wave is 4 and the wavelength is 8. Wavelength is 8 centimeter and the amplitude is 4 millimeter. Which graph shows a wave with twice the amplitude and half the frequency and the same speed? Okay, you see, if it will have the twice the amplitude, here the amplitude in the original figure is 4, so the amplitude in the right figure will be 8. He says half the frequency. Half the frequency means on this display, suppose we have two waves. If the frequency is half, here on this display you have two waves, then, but the important thing is that the speed remains the same. If the speed is same and you decrease the uh, frequency, the wavelength will increase. So if you have the same speed and you have the frequency, then the wavelength has to be double. So if this wave is completed in 8, the right graph will be, the one wave will be completed in 16 centimeters. Try to understand this point again. He said that the amplitude will become twice. The amplitude in this wave is 4, so the amplitude of the right graph will be 8. He said that the frequency will be half. If the speed remains the same, if you reduce the frequency, the wavelength should double. The wavelength of the original wave is 8. The wavelength of that new graph should be, the new wave should be 16. It should be 16. Okay, so let's check. This is the A option. No, the amplitude is not 8. The amplitude is 8, but the wavelength is only 4. So this B is not the option. C, the wavelength has become 16, but the amplitude is not 8. So C is also wrong. D, in the D, he says amplitude is 8. Oh, it's good. And the wavelength is 16. It's the right choice. For question number 27, D is the right choice. Okay. Let's reduce the size a little bit. A narrow beam of yellow and green light is separated as it passes through a prism. Which ray diagram is correct? See, when the light will enter from the first phase of the prism, the light should split. So C cannot be the answer. So A, B, D, out of them, we have the correct answer. So C is right away rejected. Next thing is, when the light splits, we know that code word for the spectrum of light, that is Roy G Biv, ROYGBIV. So that yellow color should be above the green color. Yellow color should be above the green color. Okay. So either it is A or it is B or it is D. B can be rejected. The yellow light, its line has gone straight. from inside the prism, and when it came out, it has not deviated. So B is rejected. It has not deviated, the yellow color, when it came out of the prism. It should have. The D is also rejected because the yellow and the green bended upward. That's not possible. So A is the right choice. When they came into they came out, they bended downward. That is the right choice. So the order is also correct. So A looks the right answer, sir. 28A is the choice. I hope you have understood it. Here you see when the light entered, here it splitted, and when they came out, they bended downward. And we know that the yellow should come above the green color. So A is the correct option, sir. Okay, question number 29 is on your screen. Which type of wave is used to send television signals to a satellite? We use microwaves for satellite televisions. It's a famous thing. Microwaves. C is the choice. What proves that a metal bar is a permanent magnet? For the proof of permanent magnet, only the repulsion is the test. Only repulsion is the confirmed test. So if the one end of the permanent magnet is repelled by north or south of another magnet, then it's a proof that it is magnet. So repulsion is a confirmed test of magnetism by another magnet. It repels one end of another magnet. D is the choice. Question number 30, D is the choice. D is the choice. 31. Which action demagnetizes a bar magnet? You see, it's very simple. You take a coil, put the bar magnet inside that coil, and connect the coil with the alternating current, and then withdraw that magnet slowly. The magnet will lose its magnetism. So withdrawing the magnet from inside a coil connected to an alternating splice procedure is simple. So D is the choice. Question number 31, D is the choice. 32. Electrical apparatus is protected from magnetic field by placing the apparatus in a box. What is the box made of? This is he's talking about magnetic screening. So magnetic screening is always done with the iron, soft magnetic material, iron. So B is the choice. Question number 32, B is the choice. Okay, the circuit shown is switched on for 1 minute. How much charge passes through 3 ohm resistor? How much charge? Okay, so question 33, you know the voltage is given, the resistance is given. So I can find how much current from the battery. So to apply the formula, V is equals to R. So I is equals to V divided by R. So it will be 6 divided by 3, and the answer will be 2 amps. So the current coming from the battery is 2 amps. Now I know the time, I know the current, I can tell how much charge is coming. You know, I is equals to Q by T. I equals to Q by T. So I know the I value, I know the T value, so we can find the Q charge. I is 2 and the time is 1 minute, which means 60 seconds. So 2 multiplied 60, 120 coulomb is the answer. So C is the choice, sir. Question number 23, C is the choice. I have done this on a paper also. Let me show you that. Okay, question number 33. Question number 33 is on your screen. V is equals to IR. I is equals to V by R. I is equals to 6 by 3. I is equals to 2 amps. I is equals to Q by T. So Q is equals to I multiply T. So Q is equals to 2 multiply 60. And the answer will be 120 coulomb. 120 coulomb. Question number 33, 120 coulomb. Okay. So the question number 33, 120 coulomb, C is the option. C is the option. Okay, we have here question 34. The readings of an ammeter and a voltmeter are used to calculate the resistance of a resistor R. Which circuit shows the ammeter and voltmeter in the correct position? If you want to find out the resistance of a resistor, so what we will do, we will connect the ammeter in series with the resistor, and we will connect a voltmeter in parallel to that resistor, and we also connect for the safety purposes a variable resistor. So you see, the correct arrangement is shown in C. A voltmeter is connected in parallel to the R, and ammeter and a variable resistor are connected in series with the R. So C looks the right answer, sir. 34C is the choice. Okay. It's a tricky question. A thermistor and a light dependent resistor LDR connected in a series. A potential difference of 6 volt is applied across them as shown. Uh, this is a potential divider. Remember that we have thermistor and LDR. The thermistor has a resistance of 6,000 ohm in a cold room and a 1,000 ohm in a warm room. The LDR has a resistance of 2000 ohm in dim light and 500 ohm in bright light. When is the potential difference across the LDR equals to 2 volt? Okay, remember these conditions. Okay, it's a tricky question. Let me show you my working. You know, the V out is given on R2. Remember that diagram. R2 is that R2 is R2 is the LDR. R2 is R2 here. This is the LDR because he is taking the V out. He is checking the voltage on LDR. Let me call it R2 and let me call this R1. Okay. This is exactly the potential divider circuit. So V out on the R2 will be R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into the voltage of the battery. You know the V out he said will be 2 volt. The voltage across the LDR is 2 volt and the voltage of the battery is 6. So when I take the 6 to the other side, it will be 2 by 6 and it will become 1 by 3. So now I have 1 by 3 is equals to R2 but by R1 plus R2. So I have to choose those R1 and R2 values by which I get the ratio R2 divided by R1 plus R2 as 1 by 3. So if you pay little attention, you will came to know that if I take R2 as 500 and I take R1 as 1000, then the R2 will be 5000 divided by 1000 plus 500, it will be 1500 and their ratio will be 1 by 3. It means that R1 should be 1000, which is warm, and R2 should be 500, which is bright light. So these are the two conditions: bright light and warm. Let me show you that on the given options. Bright light and warm. Bright light and warm. A warm room with bright light. C is the option, sir. It's a very, very tricky question, not a simple one. Question number 35, C is the option. Okay, on your screen, now we have 36th question. What is the effect of using a split ring commutator? You know the function of a split ring commutator in a DC motor is that whenever the coil of the DC motor is in the vertical position, it will reverse the current going into the coil. By reversing the current going into the coil, we are able to reverse the force, direction of the force acting on the sides of the coil, and this makes sure that the coil continue to rotate in the same direction. So the function of the split ring commutator is it ensures that it reverses the direction of the current in the coil. It reverses the direction of the current in the coil of a motor. Yeah, D is the choice, sir. Question number 36, D is the choice. Okay, we have here question number 37. The north pole of a magnet is moved into a solenoid and an EMF is induced. What causes an increase in the induced EMF? There are different methods. You increase the number of the turns of the solenoid, you use a stronger magnet, or you move the magnet faster. Moving the magnet more quickly, yes, that is the answer. Moving the magnet more slowly, no. Pulling the magnet out instead of pushing it, no. Using the S pole of the magnet instead of no. So A is the choice, moving the magnet more quickly. Question number 37, A is the choice. 38. 38th question is on your screen. Which material is used for the core of a transformer? The core of the transformer is always made from a soft magnetic material. We use iron. B is the choice. For 38, B is the choice. Question number 39 is on your screen. Which row is correct for nuclear fission and for nuclear fusion? You see, in nuclear fission, if you have a large nucleus, it is bombarded with a neutron, and when the neutron hits, the large nucleus breaks and it forms smaller nucleus. Okay, they make smaller nuclei. So in fission, large nucleus breaks and forms smaller nuclei. In fusion, small nuclei like hydrogen, they come and they join and they fuse in each other and they make a large nucleus. Fusion is taking place on sun and on stars. So C looks the right option. Fission produces smaller nuclei and fusion is the energy source of star. C is the choice. Question number 39, C is the choice. Okay. Question 40 is on your screen. What happens to the proton number, atomic number of a nucleus as it emits an alpha particle? When an alpha particle is given out, the daughter nucleus formed will have two protons. Its proton number will be 2 less than the parent nucleus, and its mass number will be 4 less than the parent nucleus. So proton number should decrease by 2. So B is the option. Okay, this was an easy paper. Only there was one tricky question in which we um, decided on the LDR and the thermistor. The rest of the paper was simple. I hope that this paper is clear to you. Okay, dear student, this was May-June 2017 paper. It was 1-2 paper, MCQ paper, and the course we are studying is Physics 505. I hope that this video will help you in understanding these concepts, and this video will help you in preparing for your CAIE exams, O-level exams, I hope. And thank you very much, everybody. And keep working hard and keep striving, keep studying. Thank you very much. Have a good day.